6:23 in the morning. Got the house locked up. Heading to China today. It's super exciting. I've been to Taiwan once, but that was, I don't know, that was probably like 2011. So a long time ago. Haven't been out of the country since then. Super excited about this. Also a little apprehensive, a little bit nervous, because when I went to Taiwan, I had a really good friend I was going with and had a good friend over there that I knew was gonna be with us. I'm not traveling with a friend this time, and there's way more of a language barrier, I believe, in China than there is in Taiwan. So yeah, that's part of what makes it extra exciting though, is the unknown. Anyway, it is absolutely freezing out. Freezing. My windshield is covered in frost all the way around. I'm gonna be on a short flight, leaving for Springfield to Dallas. It's like 2 hours, and then from Dallas to Shanghai is gonna be like 15, 18 hours, something like that. All right, catch you later. I'm picking Mom up at my parents' house because Mom is taking me to the airport. Little tiny airport over there. Mom's driving. Hi! Bon voyage! I'm not going to France. There's my ride right there. Hosing it down. So we're finally moving. Delayed for about an hour. Probably gonna miss my flight because I only had about an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm not sure there's gonna be enough time to get on the next flight. I'll just sort that out when we get there. And we're up. So my house is right over there in that area somewhere. Coming up on Dallas. Getting ready to land. Got a little update. Flight was delayed an hour. They've got me on a completely different flight going to Tokyo instead of straight to Shanghai. So it's gonna add about 6.5 hours or so. Getting ready to board in about 15, 20 minutes, I think. Looks like that'll be my plane right there. I believe it's a 777. Boarding. Just got my first meal. I've got the chicken and rice right here. Looks like we got water. Looks like a tomato and lettuce with some cheese. Some kind of veggie salad. And a brownie. Little dressing for the salad. So I'm on the plane, heading to Tokyo. And then to Shanghai. Check it out. I'm right here, and I got all this leg room. Got some complimentary wine. Choice between red or white. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Even though it's only 12:30 here. Okay, so we've got meal number 2. It's actually just a snack. Vanilla bean gelato. Also have some ice, Coca-Cola. I think that means it's 8 o'clock back home. Gone 4,600 miles, 558 miles an hour. -50 out. That's definitely cooler than it was when I left home. We are right there. Alright guys, made it to China. about a 6.5 hour drive to go to Longchen, going about 125 kilometers an hour, which I believe is something like 77 miles an hour. My friend sent a driver to pick me up. Something else I noticed right away that's different is there seems to be, like, as you enter or leave a city, taking photos of all the vehicles entering and leaving. There's these big sign holders that flash, like a camera flash. I'm pretty sure they're taking photos. So that's kind of interesting. Looks like some tall, possibly apartment buildings going in. Something else I've noticed, there's like this interstate kind of out in the country, but then there'll be these really tall, really tall apartment buildings just like all huddled up next to each other right along the interstate, and they all look the same, and they'll be on like both sides, and it's kind of different than what I'm used to seeing. There's some over there, can't really see them. I didn't even recognize this. My driver handed me this to drink. It took me a second. I was like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's Red Bull, but it's completely packaged, unlike anything in the US. Also, I would add that it tastes a little different and there's no fizz to it, so it's like a different recipe altogether. But it just says regular old Red Bull on there, so yeah, different. Kind of a cool tunnel. I think out of nowhere we were going underneath a little bit of mountain out here in the country. Alright guys, I'm here at last. Right off the bat, a little bit tricky to check in because zero English speaking, but my driver helped me actually get it figured out a little bit. Also, thankfully somebody showed me this, but to turn the power on, use your card to get the lights to even come on in the room. Let's go check out this room. Haven't checked out the room at all yet. This is my first look. Yeah. Okay. So I think I need to leave the card in over here. I can't say. There we go. All right, let's try this again. There we go. There's a light. Aha. More lights. All right, now that I've got all the lights on, we'll do a quick run through again. Here's a breaker box right here. Huh. Give me access to the breaker box, which is not what you would normally find in America. Bathroom area in there, big old walk-in shower. Looks really nice. I like it. Got some tea up there you can buy and cards. What a trip that was. Wow. I still don't even know what time my day is gonna start tomorrow, so I don't even know what time I'm supposed to like get up or anything, because I don't know if the show starts tomorrow or if it starts Saturday or when it's actually gonna start. Oh, I better get some rest.
2 hours later.
Lots and lots of mushrooms. Lots of mushrooms on the menu for breakfast at the hotel. It's like 4 different mushroom type dishes. So far, I'm really liking it. Some of the traditional tea. That's good after 2.5 hours of sleep and all that flying yesterday. Nice warm tea. There's like 3 different mushroom dishes plus some little side dishes that just had mushrooms too, and all sorts of other things. I tried to grab a little of everything. I didn't quite get everything though. These mushrooms are great. They're coated in like a sweet teriyaki. Got some like buttered cauliflower, steamed, I think. The broccoli's good. That's normally what we'd have back home with some mashed potatoes or some kind of evening dish. Not really for breakfast normally. Yeah, it just tastes like steamed and buttered cauliflower. Forgot a little bit of whatever this is. Looks like steamed celery, but it's really bitter. The last thing I have here I thought was rice noodles. It's definitely not rice noodles though. Some kind of a vegetable. It's very salty. Some chicken. Very, very salty. Almost can't finish the one that I thought was noodles, just because of the salt. I know what I'm getting more of though. Pretty much all the mushroom dishes. Really good. Tea's great. Gotta get some more. I was gonna video the rest of me eating. Ran into Zaza and CJ Kai and ended up finish eating with them. Had a nice conversation. I think I'm gonna meet up with them later and we're gonna be travel buddies and go to the show later. None of us know when the show is or where it is yet, so we're gonna meet up here in a half hour and form a posse and find out. Breakfast was phenomenal, by the way. Like, that was really, really interesting. Yeah, there was so many mushroom dishes, and I loved them. These big teriyaki covered mushrooms were delicious. There was these little tiny, tiny mushrooms, like just a whole pot of them, and I think the meat in them was actually like mussels. So there's a whole bunch of mussels mixed in with them. It was really good. Not sure when the show is. I'm pretty sure today's some kind of setup day. Anyway, I'm just kind of waiting around right now and thought I'd go take a step outside and see what it's like right outside the front door. It's pretty different. It's pretty different. The signs are just so much more colorful or something. I don't know. Yeah, definitely a different vibe than Springfield, that's for sure. So this is the front of my hotel right here. It's just kind of right on this corner. An apartment building over there. All sorts of little shops and stuff. I think there's one, there's a shop right over there that says Craft Brew. Might have to check that out later. But yeah, definitely want to walk around the area and check out all these little shops. Maybe not check out all of them, but check out some of them because there's just little shops all over. 那我们这几个铁路的话是跟那个福建那边的，宁德那边的。Education Bureau 是龙泉的还是指那个立粉的？龙泉的，龙泉的 Education. Education Bureau I say OOM. 标准。这边是亲子博物馆啊。Alright guys, I'm all set up at the show. Turns out today's a setup day, and then the next 2 days will be for the show. Let me take a look at my table. I've got stuff behind glass. Here's a buoy that I've got. Ready to go. Not used to having my stuff behind glass. Makes it a little tricky to get out and have customers handle it. Because I like to get them in people's hands and let them handle it. So we're doing a bid on this, an auction. I've got 4 of Dad's knives set up here with me too.
2 paring knives. A big giant chef knife and a normal size one. Check out this super old architecture.
Let's go. Upstairs.
This is really cool. This is a 400-year-old structure. Sword smithy. It's really, really cool. That 400-year-old building you just saw is actually the shop of one of the youngest traditional sword makers in China. He's making his own steel, so he's one of the youngest to be doing that in China. We're gonna go visit his forge next. What we've got on the left is a smelting forge that he's already used to smelt iron sand into kind of like a cast iron and then forge that into steel. And on the right, he's building a brand new one because you can only use them one time a piece. You can see a guy just whacking on some, looks like limestone with a hammer. No glasses on or anything, but these things were super cool and they were like 8 feet tall. Once the new one's built, I'm gonna see it run for the first and only time. It is Saturday, so yesterday was just a setup day and there was also some VIPs there getting ready to have breakfast Saturday. I have a breakfast coupon here, so let's see what they got today. All right guys, we got all sorts of interesting food today. We got this dumpling, little peanuts, some kind of bacon. There's like some pot stickers and not sure what those are. Got some different little fruit bits and some kind of a, not sure. Tastes kind of like Canadian bacon. It's a little different though. I can't really describe it, but it's a little different than Canadian bacon. So I found out yesterday, Longchen is famous for mushrooms. That's why there were so many different mushroom dishes on the menu, because they're really known for having mushrooms. There was a lot of mushroom dishes for dinner last night as well. That's some peanuts. Yep. Peanuts are peanuts. I thought these were bean sprouts, but I don't think they are now. After eating them, I'm not sure what they are. I think it's some kind of a vegetable. They're good. Some kind of a sauteed and like buttered vegetable, I think. They're really good. I have to get more of those. Had one of these yesterday. Some kind of a fried croissant type bread. Really good. Kind of like funnel cake. You have this back in the US at a carnival with powdered sugar on it. Not sure what these are. I think it may be some part of a really large mushroom. Maybe. These definitely look like some kind of mushroom. No, I don't think this is a mushroom. I don't know. All right, let's try this fruit. I think I may have had this in Taiwan. I don't remember. Really good. Kind of like a little bit like kiwi in the texture, and then it's got all those little seeds that kind of like a kiwi. Tomato. Have some tea. That's really good. Some kind of fruit. I think it's got a pit in it. That was super good. Really interesting texture on the outside. This is all spiky. That's really pretty. Don't know what it is. Really buttery and crisp, super crispy. Some kind of radish or something, I don't know. It's kind of the texture of a radish. It's warm. So, after all that flying, it was 28 hours or something of traveling before I got here. And I had an hour or two of sleep here and there, but not really much. Had 3 hours of sleep when I got to the hotel last night, or the night before. Then was at the show all day yesterday, prepping and meeting VIP customers and stuff. So last night I was so exhausted, so worn out. I got into bed and immediately went to sleep. But woke up at like 4 in the morning because it felt like I was sleeping through the day. Because back at home, my normal time schedule is like when I went to bed, it would have been like, I don't know, 7 or 10 in the morning or something at home. And then I got up at 4 and was like, had to kind of go back to sleep. 4 o'clock here. Anyway, so the equivalent to back home was I was sleeping somewhere around from like, I was sleeping somewhere around like 10 to 4 in the afternoon or something. So it kind of felt like I slept, like stayed up all night and then slept through the day, even though it was night here and everything. But yeah, it was weird. Let's try this sausage. Tastes fine. Kind of sausage tasting, but the spices are different. Yeah, it's got some different spices in there. I can't even describe it. It's pretty good though. I'm gonna try this black thing. I think it may be some kind of a mushroom, possibly. Definitely seems like it's in the mushroom family. Kind of got a little crunch to it. Not really any flavor. Pot sticker for breakfast. Wonder what's in it. Seems to just taste like a regular pot sticker. Maybe a little soy sauce wouldn't be bad. About to eat this big fluffy dumpling. Big fluffy dumpling. The outside's kind of ooey gooey. The inside looks like it just has cabbage and shredded carrots and stuff like that in there. I kind of wonder if you're supposed to dip it in some kind of a sauce, maybe. Seems like something that would take a sauce really well. There's probably one up there I just don't know about. Starting to feel a lot better. A shower. Nice, pretty long shower. Interesting meal in the morning. Definitely helps. Last thing on my plate is some kind of a stuffed biscuit of some kind. I don't know. It's completely mysterious looking to me. Kind of tastes like the outside's like a soft granola,
And the inside just tastes kind of like stuff you'd put in a granola mix. With the exception of a lot of sesame seeds that add kind of a little snap. I have to go get some more. More food. Feed the beast. Tastes like tangerine. Really sweet. These are really interesting. Look at that texture on the outside. I better hurry up. I think the bus is leaving in like 15 minutes. Got a sesame seed bun. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a big ball of bread, but there's something on the inside. I think it's beans. There's beans on the inside. That was a good breakfast. I better get up to the room and brush my teeth, grab my stuff, and get going. Getting ready for the opening ceremonies. They're gonna have all sorts of stuff happening here during the show. Got a bunch of covered seats set up. A lot of people gathering all over.
将在开幕式舞台举行以真兵器剑道表演，也敬请大家观摩。
So guys, here at the show, there are lots of antique weapons and also lots and lots and lots of pottery, porcelain, ceramics. Lots of weaponry. Whole bunch of swords and stuff. The other half is a whole bunch of porcelain, ceramic rather. And then on the floor here, they have all this broken display. I'm guessing these are historic pieces that were dug up, but I don't know. I'll have to find out from somebody who does know. It's really cool. Even though it's broken, it's still like really beautiful. I mean, really beautiful. The color of the green is just something about it. It's so soft and milky. This broken display is really impressive. Look at that stuff. It's so cool looking. All right, guys, I'm going to a performance in the city. There's a lot of people going. I'm gonna try to get some later. I'm almost out of battery. Get some more footage of the actual performance. It's humongous.
The next day.
Yesterday was fantastic. Met lots of really cool people. Had a great dinner. I didn't video any of the dinner the last 2 nights. And that's just because it's pretty formal and like nobody has their phones out or anything. And I felt like it would be kind of out of place to be videoing it. The mayor of the city was there and like a general and different province leaders and stuff. Pretty big. The first dinner was probably 60, 70 people, and then the dinner last night was like 400 or 500 people. And there was music and singing and drums and all sorts of stuff. Got a couple bids on the fighter, which is amazing. Super happy about that. Sold one of Dad's chef's knives, and then somebody else said they might buy all the ones that are left after the show's finished. That's good. After the meal last night, went to an amazing light show. Well, it was light and also kind of like dancing, but they were like acting out the history of China. 500 performers. thousands of people showed up, and there was tons and tons of bright lights and everything that kind of added to the show. It was really cool. I started to video that. I got like 2 seconds and my phone died because I did a lot of video yesterday at the show and doing breakfast and all that stuff. Yeah, so I'm sorry I missed that. If I look and sound tired, it's just because the mornings are kind of rough with that jet lag. It's like 4:30 or 5 or something back home, but it's like 7:30 or 8 or something like that here. So I feel really good though. I feel the most rested I've been yet. I'm wearing kind of a little bit tighter fitting shirt today. Got my sleeves rolled back because the sleeves aren't nearly long enough for the shirt, but it looks good that way. So I feel like strong. I feel strong and fit, even though I'm pretty strong. Not as fit as I'd like to be. Bus is gonna come pick us up at 8:30. So I don't have a lot of time. I didn't set my alarm last night. I got up probably a half an hour later than I wanted to. That's fine, because I still have plenty of time. Some kind of mushrooms, once again, different mushrooms every time. Yeah, I met lots of really cool people yesterday. Took lots of pictures with people. Lots and lots. They had that interesting, really formal ceremony, which is unlike anything I've ever been to at a show like this. Pretty cool. All I could understand, though, was the name of the city, Longchan. Longchan kept popping up as they were talking, and then a friend Chongven mentioned Zaza. I could hear his name pop up, and then I could hear my name pop up once. Morning. Hi. Some tangerines. Got more of these little fruits. Don't know what they are, but they have the really interesting texture. Very interesting. Really good. Alright guys, that's about it. I'm gonna walk through a little bit of the show so you can see what it's like. Lots of really pretty ceramic pottery and lots of swords. This place is pretty big. Not quite as big as like the Blade show, but it's really big. Whole bunch of displays of pottery. Mostly Chinese and Japanese weaponry over here. Swords, knives. The city of Longchan is really famous for its swords and also for its ceramics and the color they come out with the coating from the area. It's really a beautiful, creamy, smooth color of green. I showed you yesterday. This is the second day of the show, the third day total for me, because the first day was set up and kind of VIP, whatever. But yeah, I really like this area. So I found out more about all this broken area. Is actually all this broken stuff was stuff that had flaws when they made it. So it was broken on purpose, or it broke during the process of making it. It's not old. It's just the failures during the process of making it, which is pretty cool. I really like it. I think you're supposed to walk across it because there's a little step on the end and just kind of enjoy it. It's really, really cool looking. It's all sorts of different things. There's tons and tons and tons of ceramics, like in half the building. And then lots of weaponry. There's something really big right there. That thing's about 8 feet long. The displays for the swords are really cool too. Lots of carving on the wood. And then all the way back here, they have the knives in glass cases. Zaza's table's right there, Zaza and CJ. And my table is right here. It has been a chore keeping this glass clean, like a big time chore. Every few minutes it seems like I'm over here wiping down this glass. Got a couple bids on this knife, which is very good.
Got an award for best buoy as well. Right there. Best buoy award. Sold one of Dad's kitchen knives and possibly have a buyer lined up for the other 3 as well. Sold that one there, and I think I've got the other 3. Possibly, we'll see. So yeah, there's 30 or 40 these tables around here with traditional and non-traditional stuff. Not very much like American Bladesmith Society. In fact, almost none. Like style, buoys and fighters and stuff. Not very many. Take a walk through the pottery side. Got music going on in here, which is nice at first, but I will say it does get a little annoying after a while because it repeats about every minute and a half, 2 minutes or so. But it's a really nice venue. Like you can see on the walls, there's like really cool wallpaper or artwork or something. Really high ceiling, lots and lots of light. That back there says the outstanding blades. That's Chongvin's area. He's running all this back third. Lots of really cool stuff. Go ahead and walk through over here. Lots of pottery, ceramic. Really cool little displays. Really beautiful stuff. It's not too expensive, I don't believe. I think that says 130 RMB. I don't know if that's probably for each piece, I guess. So divide 130 by 7 for US dollars. I think I saw some of these really cool like vases and stuff over here, big ones for like 250 RMB, which seems like a good deal because this stuff is really cool, handmade, just beautiful colors on it. Really beautiful colors. I love this like creamy, smooth, milky. Shout out to my brother-in-law Joe. There's one for you, creamy and milky. Color of green. All sorts of cool stuff. Look at that. 62. Man, I'd buy some of this for souvenirs, but getting it home might be an issue. It looks kind of fragile. No, I'd totally buy a bunch and take it home and have it at my house even. I think getting it there though would be a real big problem. Definitely my favorite part of the knife shows is meeting the people that are really passionate about the knives and care for them a lot. Got a whole bunch of flowers there. It's the city of Longchen. Right there. The river is really famous. It's years and years and like 2,000 years ago. In the river, some famous bladesmith or swordsmith, as far as I understand, heat treated his swords in the river and somehow made it iconic and legendary. So when I get back home, I'm gonna look for a small pond or a lake or something to start heat treating my blades in and see if I can make it legendary in 2,000 years. I'm just kidding. I will not be using water to heat treat my blades anytime soon, unless I use steel that you can actually water heat treat properly. I think maybe these pieces in the display aren't for sale. These might be older pieces, possibly more collectible. See, there's some really ornate stuff happening right here. Scroll work going around the top of this one. Oh yeah, there's really cool displays over here on the wall too. They're like 3D box displays. They're not flashing. That's just my camera making them look like they're flashing. You can see these cutouts Lots of different swords, like this lit up area. They're kind of 3D looking. Adds a nice bit of atmosphere to the room. Oh, these are swordsmiths. Looks like that guy's using a draw knife on a blade. Must be some kind of scraper. I'm getting ready to have some Mongolian barbecue, North China food at a little hole-in-the-wall joint. This is gonna be super, super, super amazing. You gotta check out this joint. Yeah, there's like an alley right here and all sorts of crazy stuff, like some night market happening over there. This is really exciting. My friend Zhongwen is taking me to this place. He says it's North China, like Mongolian barbecue, something like that. All right, we've got some local beer, which I haven't had any local beer on this trip. This looks good. Got barbecue here, coals warming up down there.
Spicy food?
Oh yeah,
Spicy food?
oh yeah. I eat really spicy food at home. Yeah. Some lamb skewers, very, very delicious. Absolutely delicious food. Blown away. Never had anything like this before. Tofu with local vegetables and local mushroom. And this is some kind of pressed vegetable. Very, very yummy. Kind of crispy on the outside and amazing texture. 20 minutes later. That was an absolutely phenomenal meal. Take a look at this carnage left behind. We devoured everything. It was so good. So good. We are back at the Smelting Forge. It's probably 8 or 9 at night now, and they've lit the one on the right. What they're doing here is making a fire with charcoal and dumping iron sand into the mix, and then they keep adding charcoal and smelting it down. And it's a fine balance of time and temperature to get it to melt up and come out nice and clean. They got the iron sand from the river, so it's like right there local and just really adds to the sword when it's finished that it all came from the area. The fellow posing on the steps is the sword maker, and there's quite a bit of people out taking photos of him. This is a chunk of the first piece of iron they got out of the forge. It's a really bad piece with a bunch of scale in it, so they just rolled it off to the side. They'll keep smelting the iron sand down until it comes out nice and clean. It's just going to take more time and temperature. Once the iron comes out nice and clean, they'll take a scoop and scoop out little bits and dump it on this pile of dirt and let it cool down right there, and then they'll have small work-sized pieces. There were sparks and flames shooting up into the air like 50, 60 feet. It was really fun. We're leaving the city. This is the fourth day. We'll actually be able to see some of the hills and surrounding area on the way home. They use their brights around here all the time at night, even when you're coming up behind other vehicles, which is kind of interesting. And then on the divided highway, there's a barrier in the center that kind of keeps the brights out of your eyes from the other side, and most of the time it's really nice bushes. There are also lots and lots of tunnels in between the 6-hour trip, probably about 100. Something else I've noticed, every few miles there's something that takes photos of the vehicles as they go by. I don't know if it's for speed or just to keep track of where they're at. I'll try to get a photo of one of them. Easier to see at night because they actually flash like a camera flash right as you go underneath. I noticed a lot of the drivers will slow down as they get to them and then go really fast as soon as they go by. And like I said, they're like every 2 or 3 or maybe 5 miles. There, right there. You can see a little flash coming up right here. Right there. Also, the vehicles have all sorts of colored lights, and some of them don't have tail lights, or maybe they might not have mud flaps. And there's lots of like police colored lights along the road too that are just like flashing, like right here in this tunnel, and then along the road and every few miles. These mountains are really beautiful. There's like this light fog over the tops of them. They just really look nice. You can see these bushes here that are right in the divider to keep the brights out from coming the other way. I don't know how much work those are to maintain, but there's like hundreds of miles of them. So this tunnel is 4 kilometers long, which is pretty far compared to the other ones. I've noticed nobody really seems to get over and like get out of the way for each other too much. Should be able to get some better shots of all those apartment buildings I was telling you about, where it kind of seems like you're out in the country, but there's these sky-rise apartments right next to the interstate on each side. Super interesting. Kind of feels like it's right out of the Matrix. Alright guys, ready to get on my flight home. Got some Chinese beer. Tastes really good. I had one other Chinese beer while I was here and it was really light. This one's a little darker. Still pretty light though. Kind of hoppy. Almost like APA. It's good. Kind of sweet and malty. I just got a beef noodle dish. Nothing's gonna beat that dish last night. Northern China style Mongolian barbecue. It's amazing. Amazing. This looks pretty good too though. Haven't had that many noodles the whole time I was in China, really. That's good. Big old chunks of beef. Very good. It's like a bamboo shoot. Had a lot of that over the last couple days. It's always good. At least every time I got it, it was good. It's very good. Some fat on the beef. Just melts in your mouth. Seaweed salad. Nice sesame flavor. Got one of those special aged eggs. Try this out. It's good. Just tastes like a hard-boiled egg with maybe some a little bit stronger flavor and a little bit of like soy sauce flavor maybe. Very good. I saw a Starbucks back there. I think I'm gonna get some coffee because I haven't had any coffee in like 4 or 5 days now. It's about time to fix that. I also need to go look for some maybe some snacks for the plane ride and some more water or tea. Downloaded some music earlier and used up my half a gig of good speed, and now I have like almost no speed. I didn't realize there was a limit on it. I didn't have any music downloaded on my phone because I always just stream it, and I had it downloaded on my phone a while ago, but I accidentally factory resetted my phone a while ago, so yeah, at least I have a little bit of music to listen to on the plane ride home. I was able to download my favorite Buckethead songs, and that's it. I was in the process of downloading Aerosmith, Back in Black, AC/DC, and Megadeth and Theocracy playlist, but only like 3 of those songs made it. Definitely gives the ramen place back home a run for its money, although I'm pretty sure this isn't ramen, but it might be. I don't know. It's very similar. Maybe somebody let me know what the definition of ramen is, and then I'll know if this is that or if this is slightly off. I'm gonna finish this up and then go look for snacks, drinks, coffee, and maybe something desserty. Alright guys, we're on the plane, finally getting ready to leave, backing out onto the taxiway. I'm in the very, very, very back corner of the plane. I wanted to pick a window seat, and I thought I'd try the back, so here we are.
Please enjoy your flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening from the flight deck. This is Captain Richard. On behalf of your Dallas-based crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us. We will be taking the runway in the next, I'm going to guess, about 5 to 8 minutes for our departure to the north. We'll be making a series of right-hand turns to get ourselves oriented.
5 to 8 minutes.
Departure corridor.
Probably just getting in line for takeoff. It's almost our turn. I think we've got one plane ahead of us. They're lining up behind us. Of course, it just looks like big blurry bright lights right now. All right, I do believe it's our turn. Looks like we got an Air Canada right behind us, judging by the giant maple leaf. Guys, on the final flight home, left Shanghai at 6 on Monday, and it's still 6 on Monday. So just a little bit further to go, and then about a 30-minute drive, we'll be back at the shop. And there we are, about 8,000 miles later, back in Springfield.
We're almost home, home. That was an amazing experience. Amazing. Met lots of amazing people. Super cool people. Saw lots of really nice countryside. Ate lots of great food. It was great. It was really, really good. Still blows my mind. Left Shanghai at 6:30. I was on the plane around 6:30 or so, and then I got to Dallas. That was 6:30 on Monday. Left China, got to Dallas. Took like an hour and a half or so to get on my next flight and everything. Look at the time. It's 6:30 on Monday. Still, time travel. Yeah, it's real, guys. I did it somehow. I don't know how, but I did it because I actually got to the airport at like 4:30 or something. So yeah, went back in time. Got to the airport at 4:30, even though it was a 12-hour drive, 12-hour flight. Turn the vehicle off. Grab my coffee cup from the other day. Sweet. Smells sweet. Turn the light on. Set that there. Better go check and make sure the shop is still here. That door is closed, which is not normally the case. Know what that's about. Yep, the shop is still here.
Oh boy, it's a mess. We got a project underway right here, and it is definitely a mess. It was a great trip. It was a really, really great trip. I'm sure I'll be thinking up lots of stuff I can say when Josh edits all this together in a video. Thanks so much for following along with this and going on a little piece of the journey with me. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!